What is up, everybody? How y'all doing? Happy hump day. Hope everybody's doing well this Wednesday. Today, we're going to do a small panel show today. I'm not going to really open it up, but I will be opening it up Fridays and Thursday. Fridays and Saturdays are going to be open panels. Today, every Wednesdays, I'm going to have a control, maybe 5 or 6 panelists on Wednesdays. Follow me on Twitter. If you want to be a panelist, hit me up on Twitter and we'll talk about it. I want to change up, get different perspectives on Wednesdays only. So at the end of the day, Wednesdays is small panels. Friday, Saturday, I'm going to have a special guest. After the special guest is gone, I will open it up again. And like I said, Friday and Saturday, as long as I'm a host at Finn's Tailgate, I'm going to give power to the people. But today, if the panelists come through, we're just going to talk about training camp. We're going to open up. We're going to talk about the interviews, mini camps, and all that good stuff, man. But before we do, let me welcome the best co-host a man could have, man. Mi hermano, Luis, que vola hacer?
Nada, aquí, Shake. Hola. What's going on, bro?
That's what's up, yeah.
Good things in the community, Shake, coming out of training camp. So
hell yeah.
Exciting time, bro.
But before we get to all that, bro, let's get to some affiliates with W Energy drink right here. Still got some left. I drink this on the weekends when I'm playing video games or mowing the lawn or doing any kind of house chores. This is good. Wakes me up, gives me focus, and I don't crash at the end. So then, of course, we got Backroom Collections. Father Day is coming soon. Is approaching soon. Get him some artwork, a visor for his mini helmet, or just any occasion. It's a great gift idea. And then, of course, we have El Capitan. He's coming on every other day. You're gonna see him a lot more now that we have more football. A Cup of Color. Shout out to Cup of Color this morning, 6 hours and a half strong. I appreciate the content, man. It was amazing what he did today. Especially, I'm looking forward to seeing the other position breakdowns when he does them. DTAs of course, and okay, Ali is going to be coming next week. He's on hiatus because he's doing a little vacation time, so he's going to be doing the morning shows. I look forward to waking up every morning with Ali in color, and of course, yours truly and my man Lewis, we're gonna be doing the drive time. And Lewis might come up every once in a while, do his own thing. I might do my own thing, but at the end of the day, here at Finn's Tailgate, man, we're one happy family, bro. So what's on your mind, Lewis?
Nothing. I just want to echo those sentiments, Shake, about what you said earlier. I think Ali has a great idea starting at 6 in the morning, giving people like me that wake up at 4 to start my day. I love that early morning content. And then again, for the people that didn't watch Color Show today, I thought it was on point, man. I thought, this is what the community needs. Not keep rehashing what's going on in 2020 and 2021, and hell, for that matter, even 2022. I think, for the guys that whoever didn't watch that show this morning, go back and check it out, because I think Color did some great work today, man. So I appreciated it.
And let's give a few shout outs to some people in the chat, man. We got Jay, Mr. Jordan. How you doing? We got the best name in the business, Dolphinier. Everybody should aspire to be a Dolphinier. California knows how to party. Raphael Cartwright, what's going on, my brother? Dolphin Dawn in the building. What's up? Well, of course, the resident Bills fan, Michael K. What's going on? Joe Reese, how you doing, man? My man, Scott Jackson. I love this dude right here. 72 logo. ¿Qué pasa, man? Who else we got here? My favorite Us, Q, dímelo, hermano. Delusional Patriots fan. What's going on, man? G, what's going on, G? It's always good to see this man, especially in the chat. Jose Valdez, Wepa Shake, what's going on, brother? And EM is in the building. What's going on? Mike Cantina, what's going on, brother? How you doing?
Don't think. Oh, I'm sorry, Shake.
That's all right. Greg, what's going on? That's my right-hand man on the Finn's Fanatic Fury. And then, of course, the other Bills guy. But go ahead. What are you going to say?
No, I was just saying, I wanted to tell EM, don't think I didn't see that comment that Lewis is trash. Don't think I didn't see that. And Jose Valdez right behind him saying that's cat when you said I was the best co-host you can have, Shake. So don't think I'm not watching, man.
Well, yeah. That's what's up. But anyway, hey, like I always do, man. I always give the voice power to the people. We got some press conferences that I would love to get to, right?
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
I'll let the people vote to see who they want. Hold on. Give me a second here. Okay, here we go. We got you gotta be my eyes on this one, because I'm in being that I'm on YouTube, so I can't see. Okay, we got let's break it down. We got I'm saving Tua for last, so just putting that out there. So we have Jaelan Phillips. All right, let's do the first Jaelan Phillips, Jalen Ramsey, or Rob Hunt. All right. First, who wants to see Jalen? Who wants to see that first? What do you think?
We'll let the chat decide, I guess. Listen, I'm good with all of them. I know we're gonna watch all of them anyway, so we'll let we can let the chat decide. I do want to recognize one guy though, Benjamin Scott. He was up there on the panel with us for a little bit today. He had some great insight, man. It was a great conversation. So Benjamin, appreciate you coming through to watch me and Shake a little bit, but I really did appreciate the conversation today, bro, for real.
Hell yeah. So, okay, Hunt. We have 3 Hunts, so the Hunt wins it. All right, here go Hunt. Hunt is the winner. All right. If you want to see it, we'll put McDaniels in there, but hold on. We just got so many Q, so I'm waiting till it narrows it down. Give me a second here.
No, let's not watch McDaniel. McDaniel gives me a headache.
Yeah. All right.
Man makes me dizzy, Shake.
There you go. Can y'all see it?
How was the offseason been for you, and why did you choose to participate?
Yeah, we're good. Kind of low, though, on my end.
I think I've been going the right direction. Some things I need to work on. But offseason, what it's for, to get better at the game and
Better?
try to do something you haven't done before. So,
Yeah, better. Yep.
I'm here, man. I'm playing on the team. I'm here, so that's why I'm here. I guess that's why I'm in OTA.
How important is it for you to get a contract extension before you guys start the regular season?
I'll leave it up to the people up front and my agents, and then of course I got some say so in it, but I ain't worried about it right now. It's the least of my worries right now. I would like a Super Bowl, something like that, a playoff win. So I'm kind of worried about that, man, and perfecting what I can do to be better. So worried about that right now.
Have you been in talks with Connor Williams? And would it be nice to have your center back next to you alongside you?
Connor's dealing with his situation. How he deal with it? I talked to him. Went to dinner for his birthday and stuff like that. He's good, man. He Connor's good. Man.
Rob, there's been a lot of excitement in the area with the Heat and the Panthers.
Oh yeah.
And I'm wondering if you've had people come up to you with a smile and say, "Okay, it's you guys' turn next."
Not much. But that would be nice.
Turn next.
Not.
You guys' turn next. Rob, there's been a lot of excitement.
Damn it. All right. You know who Hal Habib is? Lewis?
Who?
Hal Habib. Hal Habib.
Yeah. Yep.
You know who he is?
Yep.
That's that little this is dude. Hold on. This dude right here. I have the cursor on. That's Hal Habib.
Yep.
Tell me he doesn't look like the guy who did the parrot for Aladdin, Gilbert Gottfried.
He does look like Gilbert Gottfried a little bit, yeah, especially in the face. Yeah, he does.
In the area with the Heat and the Panthers.
Oh yeah.
And I'm wondering if you've had people come up to you with a smile and say, "Okay, it's you guys' turn next."
Not much. But that would be nice. That would be really nice. So hopefully, we got a really good team, man, talented team. If we can figure it out, well, I think we have a shot.
All right, here we go. Let's see who's next. All right, here we go. Y'all can still see it, right?
Yeah, you're good, Shane.
Okay. Now we have Phillips, Ramsey, or Xavien Howard. Who's I'm only doing 3 at a time, so I want to see some votes. So Phillips, Xavien Howard, or Ramsey. Who's next? Come on.
Well, let me try to influence the chat a little bit. Let's go.
Oh, by the way,
Ramsey.
I don't think Color's interview is on here. So anybody? Howard. Okay, we got a Howard. We got a Ramsey.
Let's go
and a
Ramsey.
Howard.
I got Ramsey too. I'm with you.
Color. I don't think we have Killer's interview either. Okay, Ramsey and Howard.
Ramsey, there's we got
more.
Ramsey. We got Valdez.
We got 3. We got 3 Ramsey. So Ramsey does it. First one to 3.
Let's get it.
It's been good so far.
By the way, if you want something, if there's something that you want to touch on, just tell me to pause, and I could pause it, and you could add, or you know what I mean. So
I got you.
Progression. That's all you can ask for, really. Yeah.
What kind of visions do you have in the early going with you and him together in the secondary?
We can do some special things. We can be elite. Put it all together. When the time is right, it'll happen how it needs to happen.
How do you think your experience playing under Brandon Staley over in Los Angeles helps you with this
I know the defense, so that's how it helps. It's the same. I've been running the same defense for 3 years now.
my past 3 years in LA. So now it's the same defense. It's just a little bit different terminology, but same type of stuff. And there's different ways to play this defense. So Vic has his own way of putting his own like flavor in it, and I guess kind of catering it to certain people who will stand out in defense and who can stand out in any defense really. But
Earlier, Coach McDaniel praised Fangio's defense for the way it prepares the offense. How have you seen the way this offense can kind of, elevate your guys' game as a defense? The way they go about their work.
Yeah, it's just good players going against other good players and really competing and challenging us to bring the best out of each other. Obviously, you got the receivers, you got the running backs, you got everybody over there who you need to challenge us, and we feel it the same way. So it'll be good.
What have you noticed about the rookie corner Cam Smith?
He got a lot of confidence, which is good. That's like the main thing you need to play this position in the NFL. He's learning the defense pretty quickly. Going through some rookie things, but I mean that's given. He'll continue growing and doing good things. But he's cool. He's good.
What would you tell any rookie corner coming into this league? What's the number one thing you got to tell the guy?
Nothing. I'm just helping my teammates out, so the rest of them can figure it out kind of themselves.
What have you been able to take in and notice while you're watching team drills off to the side?
I'm just looking and trying to help out wherever I can. Because like I said, I know the defense, so that's really where I'm trying to help this offseason, this mini camp. Is if anybody got questions about the defense or if I feel like, they could be more comfortable playing it, or, because you can kind of, there's certain ways that Vic wants it to be very specific, but there's also certain ways where you can have your own flavor and get comfortable within the defense. So that's where I'm trying to help, honestly. But all these guys are professionals. They got to kind of get it themselves, and any way I can help, I'll give them my input then. But I ain't like doing too much, like forcing that on to nobody or nothing. It's like natural.
That was a good one. That was my man Ramsey. I'm still in disbelief that we got him. So, all right, now we got Jaelan Phillips, Xavien Howard, and Jerome Baker.
Ooh, let's go.
So Baker, Phillips, and X.
Hey, chat, let's go with Phillips.
What's going on, Mr. Levy? How you doing, my brother?
Yeah, what's up, Rob? I don't know, man. We got some guys in the chat saying that Ramsey looked annoyed. I don't know. I don't think I got that vibe from him.
Well, it's dumb questions. That's why. Okay, we got two Baker. We need more. We got Phillips. Right now, Phillips wins with 3.
Yeah, with color being JP or X. JP first. Let's give him that Phillips shake.
All right, that's what's up. All right, I'm gonna get on it now.
Talked about how he feels like you have taken your practice performances to a different level. I've always thought you practiced pretty well, pretty hard. What did you do in particular to do that this offseason?
Oh, I mean, I just try to take it day by day. I honestly don't think that it's been as good as he said they were, but I'm just a really hard critic on myself and honestly, like constantly trying to improve. So it's been a great offseason so far, though. Obviously feeling confident and comfortable in the defense, comfortable with the guys. So I'm just looking to build on, what we did last year and what I've done so far this offseason.
I tell you what, I swear to God, if you close your eyes, you swear to God that's Jason Taylor talking. Because I don't know, they have the same type of voice tone in their voice.
He does kind of sound like Jason Taylor now that you said that, Shake. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Where do you see your partnership with Chubb? Last year, you guys had to kind of work it in on the fly mid-season and all. Now that you've had time together, how is that working out? How much better do you think you two can be this year?
Yeah, I mean, we definitely have spent a lot of time getting closer with each other off the field, and I think that just helps on the field. I think when you have those relationships with your teammates, then it just, brings up the motivation, makes you want to play for them even more. So I think it's just iron sharpening iron with us. We're competitive, but, we're for each other. So
whether it's the weight room, whether it's off the field with our habits, whether it's out here, like we're always making sure that we're on point. So it's nice to have kind of like an accountability brother when it comes to that.
What do you like most about his game?
I mean, he's a baller, bro. He's a gamer. His technique is really what I like the most. I kind of look up to him when it comes to that, honestly, and have him kind of put me on game, showing me different techniques and things. So I think he's very crafty and obviously physically gifted. So I love having him on the opposite side of me for sure.
I'm gonna ask you about a player that I don't know you expect this, but Mitchell Gude.
Mm-hmm.
He's been flashing every day. What do I not know?
I mean, you know it's on tape what you've been seeing, man. He's a baller. He is. He's super twitchy, super athletic. Me and Mitch, though, we have a little bit of history now because obviously he went to UCLA and then transferred out to Miami. While he was being recruited to Miami, I kind of talked to him and told him about my journey and kind of the blueprint that I kind of found. And he really kind of like felt that and locked in with it. So when he got to the Dolphins, I was like, man, this is like prophecy at this point. So it's been really cool just kind of being a mentor to him and seeing him work. But we got a great young group, man. Garrett Nelson's doing really well too. So it's been good.
This morning, Coach really praised the way the defense gives the offense certain looks to make their game sharper. I'm curious if you take that conversely, how this offense makes
Absolutely.
your guys' game sharper.
Absolutely. I mean, this offense is so multiple with different things they do. So they're always testing your eyes. Making sure that you're disciplined. And I think that's one of the hardest things as an edge rusher, really as a football player in general, but specifically on the edge when you have an offense that has so many different motions and so many different possible plays out of the same looks. It really just kind of makes you hone in. So it's awesome having it on a daily basis. It's frustrating at times for sure because there might be a couple practices where they get my edge a couple times and have these crazy plays. So it's definitely a good experience.
You also mentioned the technique and the fundamentals that Dick really preaches is a big part of that. You mentioned Bradley Chubb's technique was a big part of what you look after. I'm just curious kind of how you've taken from that and improved your game.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to get everything to kind of be muscle memory at this point. I think that's kind of the moment when that switch happens is when all the things that you're working become just second nature. So that when you're playing, you're not even thinking about throwing moves and doing different things. You're just going. So I think that's kind of what I'm trying to get to and what I've been working towards.
And finally, the effort you talked about, the coach mentioned this morning as well, and you said maybe they're not as good as he said they were. I disagree with you a little bit there,
Thanks.
Coach. But Christian Wilkins is a guy that always stands out to me in that way. I'm curious to hear your perspective on the way Christian works out.
Yeah, I mean, Christian's the same guy every single day. He's going to come with energy, yelling all the time, and just enjoying life. And I think it shows on the field because the passion that he plays with and the energy that he has is super contagious. And so I think he's a great leader for this team. He brings guys up with him, and man, you see him on the field. That dude is different. Just break down his tape. He's different. Like Christian's a baller, man.
Jalen, how aware are you guys of the Heat and the Panthers' success, and has it had any effect in that building?
I mean, yeah, we've been watching. The only thing I wish is that we could be playing right now at the same time as them, because then we could really feed off that motivation. But it's been great seeing that the South Florida sports being successful. Obviously, when everybody's winning down here, everybody's a lot happier. So we hope that they can continue that success, man. We're rooting for them for sure.
Got some good post moves?
Post moves? I'm good for some boards. Not really too much of a scorer. I'll cherry pick and get some dunks in, but I'm not a hooper at all. No, never was.
Got any special plans once you get through minicamp and all to chill away from football?
Yeah, I'm headed back to Washington, Lake Chelan in particular. That's where my girlfriend's family's from. So her dad has a little lake house out there. We're gonna go out and chill out, vibe out. It's gonna be great.
Sounds
and
nice.
train too, obviously.
Sounds
we'll be out there
nice.
working.
Yeah.
Jalen, sorry if you've been asked, but is there anything wise or technique wise you've worked on in particular this offseason?
I can't give that away now, can I? The opposition watches these too. So, but no, I've just been continuously trying to hone in my craft and really trying to refine my moves so that I'm not just kind of a jack of all trade, master of none. Like I'm trying to really kind of lock in what my repertoire is.
Jalen, I know after your rookie year, you said that you wanted to improve run defense, becoming an every down player. It seems like you achieved that goal last year, but what's the next step to really being a guy that can dominate on everything?
Yeah, I mean, just to keep building on that and being consistent with it. I think that in the past, whether it's the beginning of my season being slow and kind of catching on towards the end or just certain games where I might not have that impact, I want to get to a point where, I'm just impacting every game in any way possible. So, yeah, just getting more comfortable and confident, continuously trying to grow with that.
Sorry, can you ask about Mitchell Gude, what he's shown so far? How do you like to see that from a fellow
UCLA Bruin turn, Miami Hurricane turn, Miami Dolphins.
Yeah, we were just talking about that. It's pretty crazy, honestly, how he kind of followed that same path in terms of locations as me. So he's really cool because he's very receptive to coaching and to advice from me. Like, you know, him in particular, he comes up to me all the time, Jalen, like, what were you doing your rookie year? Like, what type of things can I do to, you know, work on my method and different things like that. So I really appreciate that from him. And I mean, you can see it on the field if you guys have been watching. He's been doing this thing.
Feedback off that, another guy maybe a little older and Brad, maybe give us insight in guys' relationship, how you try to feed off each other off the edge.
Yeah, I mean, we've gotten a lot closer, obviously, since he's been here. And so I'm just excited for us to have a full offseason, full OTAs, full training camp to really keep gelling and just kind of developing our identity as players.
That's what's up, man.
That is what's up. Absolutely.
Hey, all right, before we get to our next things, I just want to bring out. I don't know if you guys heard about that there is the brand new Madden cover. Is gonna be this guy right here. I'm hoping
the curse.
I'm hoping for the curse. But you know what? There was a runner-up. I got hands. You know how every year they have runners-ups, whatever.
Right.
Well, I got exclusive from my source. You know, my source
Sweet.
is. My source told me he gave me an advanced copy. This is the runner-up. Unfortunately, didn't make it, but here it is.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, that would have been a better cover.
That would have been a better cover.
I think they're gonna make it like the pre when you pre-order, they send you a special copy with all the bells and whistles. I think this is it. But yeah, this would have been a great a better in my opinion. And I gave him an idea because I wanted to commemorate. Remember the Miami Miracle?
Absolutely.
I wanted to commemorate the Miami Miracle. I'm not talking about the one in 16. I'm talking about last year's Miami Miracle, where Noah single-handedly won us the game in Pittsburgh, and so that game put us in the playoffs. So not only did Noah single-handedly won us the game, but he put us in the playoffs. So Noah's Ark. I think that would have been a good Madden cover too, in my opinion. But that's just me.
There you go. Well, I just think it's funny for people like Mark that's in the chat saying that we missed Tight End University because we were taking our pictures so our players can get posted or plastered all over area milk cartons. But it's funny to me, Shake, it's just funny to me how Mark is the one that can say that, because wasn't Mark the one that got lost for 2 months last year? Nobody could find him.
Who's that?
Mark.
Never
Mark
heard of him.
Mark. Well, yeah, I mean, I would agree with that as well. He is a nobody, but it's just funny to me how he can talk about milk cartons when he's the one that got ghosts. We couldn't find him. Funny how that works.
All right, so what's the next one? Baker's, Tua is last, and then I'll play McDaniel's after that, only because Q asked for it.
Q must be tired. He must want to go to sleep.
All right. So we got X and Baker. Come on. Okay.
Yeah, I'll go X as well. I know my opinion don't count, but
yeah.
I'll go with X.
X. X marks the spot.
I don't know much about Jalen's situation, but getting healthy, they're gonna be out there soon. So we're just ready for it to all come together.
In the classroom, the meeting rooms, what's he been like?
Oh, he's been very active in the classroom, meeting room. Helping guys out and stuff like that, helping the younger guys.
What have you learned about big scheme and what he's gonna have y'all do at this point?
It's something different. Well, I feel like I ran a little bit of it in 18, and it's a little bit more eyes on the quarterback, just stuff like that. It ain't just man 24/8. So it give us a little time on the outside to get a little rest and stuff like that.
Think that'll help you guys?
Yeah, for sure. It definitely helped, man.
What's he like as a coach, personality-wise?
Very quiet, but when he talk, everybody listen. He got a lot of knowledge up there.
Is there a young player who you've seen make some good progress since last season? Someone you'd like to highlight?
I like Noah.
Noah?
I like Noah. He come in with a different mindset, I feel like, and he making plays and he also learning.
How was the mindset different from the previous years?
I feel like he more locked in.
You already said who he likes?
Next year at the charity softball tournament, right? How'd that go?
Yeah.
Or
No.
softball game.
Softball game. Yeah, it's on the 17th. Still recruiting, still trying to get some guys to come. A couple guys on the team.
Hold on, I'm gonna play it one more time for
When he
people
talk
in the
to
back.
everybody, listen, we got a lot of knowledge. Give us a little time on the outside to get a little rest and stuff like that.
Think that'll help you guys?
Yeah, for sure. It definitely helped, man.
What's he like as a coach, personality-wise?
Very quiet, but when he talk, everybody listen. We got a lot of knowledge up there.
Is there a young player who you've seen make some good progress since last season? Someone you'd like to highlight?
I like Noah.
Noah?
I like Noah. He come in with a different mindset, I feel like, and he making plays and he also learning.
How was the mindset different from the previous years?
I feel like he more locked in.
Next year at the charity softball tournament, right? How'd that go?
Yeah.
Or
No.
softball game.
Softball game. Yeah, it's on the 17th. Still recruiting, still trying to get some guys to come. A couple guys on the team coming. Other guys around the league, special guys from here also in the league that I'm trying to get to come also.
When was the last time you swung a bat?
Man, Jarvis softball game in Cleveland.
What kind of ball player are you?
I just want to catch the ball, really. I don't want to bat. I'm scared to get hit by the ball. But, I want to catch it, though.
Even a softball?
Even a softball. It don't matter.
Hey, X, with all the excitement around the Heat and the Panthers, I'm wondering, when you go to games, do people smile and say, okay, you guys are next?
Oh, yeah, we feel the pressure. They definitely, the fans definitely give us the pressure when we come in there.
All right, here we go. Before we get to the Tua interview, you have anything to say?
No. We're
No.
good shape.
Okay,
Actually,
okay.
I think the interviews have been real good.
Yeah. The one thing I do miss, though, I'm not gonna lie. One of the things around this time next year, I haven't heard the sounds of the jugs machine. I love listening. I don't know about you, but whenever this time next year, I always like hearing the jugs machine in the background. Click clack, click clack. You know what I'm talking about?
Right.
I haven't
Yeah,
heard
for
them
sure.
yet. That's one of the things I look forward to. I don't know. It's a soothing sound for
Your
some reason.
early
But
impressions of this defense after being on the field now, Jalen Ramsey and X were saying on the back end, it's not all zone. It's not as much zone as people think. But what do you think overall and different specifics of the defense? What are your thoughts?
You got to be a smart player to play in this defense. But once you get it down and once you have idea what you're doing, I mean, it's so fun to play in. Just the different things we do, different things we ask for guys, it's definitely going to be fun. So I'm excited.
What are your thoughts on drafting Aubrey Miller?
Man, he's a fun guy, man. He really just trying to learn every play. He's trying to figure out how he can get better. So that's all you can really ask for rookies. They don't know what they're doing yet, but just try to soak in all the information. He's definitely trying to do that. Perfect.
How are you getting along? What do you notice about him?
Man, I hate now playing. He's a great guy, bro. He really is.
hold on, I'm sorry, but I had to pause this because I needed to say what's up to a special somebody in the chat. Pamela, what's going on, Pamela? How you doing, Pam?
What's good, Miss Pam?
Damn right, go Gators. Much love.
Well, I
man.
don't know
Pamela.
about that.
I know. Yeah. Listen, it is what it is. I know where you stand, but no. I always get hyped whenever I see Pam. So I'm sorry I had to do that. But go ahead.
Oh no, you're good. What's going
He's
on,
one of
Miss
those
Pam?
coaches that he will sit down and just explain every guy's role and what they got to do on every play, and that's all you can ask for. As a linebacker, you really just try to understand the defense. And he really sits down and explains everybody's role and how you can get better, whether you do good or not. He's just coaching you up to get better. So it's definitely fun.
Hey, I was asking about coach about basically culture. How important is it to have guys that buy in? And the window in the NFL is kind of short because of free agency and guys moving around.
Yeah.
So how important is that?
It's super important, but that's where you lean on the leaders and the guys that's been here and they know what we're about. So we have great leaders. We have guys that just really buy in. We have young guys that's just willing just to do anything to get on the field and help our team win. And that's all you can really ask for.
How big of a part of that is the head coach?
I mean, he sets the tone for everything. So even the first day we came in, he set the tone of all we're going to do is just try to win the offseason right now and worry about the season when it comes. And, I think we all been doing that.
When it comes to Tua, we see a physical difference. He's put on some weight. What are you seeing as far as his progression and what's different about him now?
I mean, he's just like he's like one of those guys that every year he's trying to get better in every aspect. This year, you could tell physically he looks different. But, mentally, man, he's sharp. I don't think he even threw a pick this offseason. So mentally, he's just sharp and he's on it. And you can tell now he's getting on guys when they're not doing right, and that's just good to see.
And that was Jerome Baker.
Bingo, right there, Shake. The same thing I was trying to, again, before these shows were usually backstage and stuff, same thing I said. That's what Jerome Baker said, and I hadn't even heard the Jerome Baker interview, and I completely agree. People need to get out of their damn feelings. No one's saying, let me preface this by what I'm about to say, Shake. I'm not saying that it's going to translate on the field, but there is without a question, Tua Tagovailoa is changing in our eyes. Now, whether it shows up and he makes it happen on the field, we don't know yet. But anyone that wants to sit here and keep being a hater and just, he can't throw, he can't do this, he can't, bro, those are lies. The man is growing up in front of our eyes, and everything we've wanted from this kid, he's starting to develop that. Now it just has to come on the field.
All right.
But you're hearing players say it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't get it.
Uh-oh. Hey, no more gaslighting, man. We're here for one of the panelists have arrived. It's my man, Crypto. What's going on, my brother? Good to see you again.
Hey, what's going on, Shake? What's going on, Lewis?
Hey, but you know what?
Sorry, I'm late, man. I was running around. I was at work. I was watching other video.
I sent out another special guest, the one, the only, Miss Pamela, the first lady of the Dolphins community. What's going on, Miss Pamela? How you doing?
Hey,
What's up,
guys.
Pam?
Hey, good to see you guys.
Same
hey, Lewis.
likewise.
Absolutely. What's going on, Miss Pam?
Hey, Crypto. Oh, just normal life. Hey, Crypto.
I heard that.
Yeah, just normal life. It eats us all up a little bit, right? Sorry, I'm wearing pink. I should be wearing aqua. Sorry.
It's all good.
No worries.
But no, I like the fact that Tua sounds a little more. I haven't heard the interview, but from what I heard, he's sounding more assertive. So that's a good thing to hear.
He's just growing up.
Yeah.
He's taking that leadership role. Even
what you said, Lewis, is him becoming a father more so. Him, growing up into his full adulthood.
Well, I mean,
I agree with that.
Absolutely. Yeah, for sure.
Get something to him grabbing a bull by the horns. He don't necessarily have to have coaching to do that. Sometimes you can just look into your inner self and decide to do it. You know what I'm saying?
You
can do that all on your own without anybody nudging you.
Exactly. And the thing is not everybody matures at the same rate. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Now, that's even better, Pam.
Yep. So here he comes. I thought he started asserting himself a good amount last year. Like in his interviews, he sounded different. But now he's really bringing it, and I'm glad to see it, because that job he has, and you got to be able to take over. Those are, men that are exceptionally talented. Hey, Voncho. So exceptionally talented, and you better be able to bring, some leadership, and that's not easy in that situation. So I'm really glad to see him doing that.
Right, so
absolutely.
Let's do this. Let's do this real quick. Tua interview. So here we go.
Oh, good.
And by the way, if anybody wants me to has a point or something like that, they need me to bring up. Just tell me to pause, and we'll pause. All right.
I got you.
Here we go. Number uno.
So, anyone watch Ted Lasso? That thing's awesome. I thought you were like pulling my leg because someone told you that.
but I've been like raving about how good Ted Lasso was in the locker room. But I mean, that's awesome. Got another superstar. So I mean, big names out here in Miami. You know, it's good for the culture out here, just like you know, what the Heat got going on and what the Panthers got going on.
Tua, Coach talked about your ownership of the offense and leadership role here in your second year in this system. Just kind of curious to your perspective on how you feel more comfortable in the second year.
Yeah, we feel extremely comfortable coming off of a year having to study, having to, you know, get a good feel of how Mike calls plays.
Hold on. What do you mean go back, Q? What do you mean?
He was just asked a question about Messi. That's where he was
Oh, no,
like another
this is the beginning.
Yeah, that was the
Yeah,
beginning.
Lionel Messi. I just got done watching Ted Lasso. Anyone watch Ted Lasso? That thing's awesome. I thought you were like pulling my leg because someone told you that. But I've been like raving about how good Ted Lasso was in the locker room. But I mean, that's awesome. Got another superstar. So I mean, big names out here in Miami. You know, it's good for the culture out here, just like you know, what the Heat.
By the way, this guy said, where is it? Filthy Cat says, Tua about to drop 50 tutties. If Tua drops 50 touchdowns, I'm gonna make a shirt. I'm gonna do a Finn's tailgate shirt. I'm gonna have Tua on the bottom. It's gonna say Hawaii 5-0.
That's a
Just
good
putting that
one.
out there.
Got going on and what the Panthers got going on.
Tua, Coach talked about your ownership of the offense and leadership role here in your second year in this system. Just kind of curious to your perspective on how you feel more comfortable in the second year.
Yeah, we feel extremely comfortable coming off of a year having to study, having to, you know, get a good feel of how Mike calls plays, you know, get a feel of the guys running the routes and then the concepts and where guys are going to be and the distribution of those. So it makes it a lot easier when you can transition from that, you know, into this year and not have to learn a new offense.
So you're using
initial thoughts on Chosen and how your time has been working with him?
Yeah, Chosen's a great teammate. He's really fast. He knows how to get the ball. He's been getting the ball a good amount this OTAs, but he's a really good player, just like, you know, everyone in his room.
You're using that new quarterback-specific helmet. Wondering what you learned about what makes it safer and how it feels to play with it on.
Yeah, well, I'm still trying to feel it out. So, you know, what better time to feel it out than OTAs? I heard it's supposedly better than the helmet that I had wearing last year. So, you know, if it could be that much more safe, then, you know, why not give it a shot?
So you're not sure it's what you'll go with, not you're still feeling it out?
Yeah, still feeling it out. Yeah.
So it looks like been in the weight room a little bit this offseason. What are you trying to work on?
Well, I'm trying to work on everything. As much as I'm trying to work on throwing the ball, getting the ball to the guys, you know, being able to push the ball a lot more downfield, you know, getting in the playbook, I'm doing the same with my body. So, yeah.
You brought up culture, right? And Coach McDaniel talked a little bit about bringing the right guy. How much more important is that than some guy with a little more talent but not the right attitude?
Yeah, I think that's really important because if you have someone with talent that does their own thing, it's going to screw up that entire.
Sorry about that. I want to bring this out. Like, fun fact: tattoo derives from the Samoan word tattoo, which basically means to mark. That's what's up, Q. Appreciate the fun fact there.
Nice, Q.
Yeah, man. I remember before The Rock started to get bigger and bigger, I noticed he started with smaller tattoos, and now I guarantee you, pretty soon you're gonna see that tattoo get bigger and bigger. So that's a
symphony of,
you know,
the offense, the defense, or the special.
The beginning.
And if
yeah,
you
the
get someone
beginning.
that's less talented but understands what they're doing, their assignment, he's going to be where he needs to be when he needs to be there, and whatnot. I mean, it's gonna move like a symphony, and you know, guys in the back end are going to be able to help that one specific guy, you know, kind of cover his tracks if he's a little, if he's not as good as, you know, per se, you know, someone else at that position. So
When you put it together, like a guy, like everybody talks about Tyreek's work ethic.
Yeah.
When you have guys like guys like that at the top of the food chain? It makes it a lot easier for the guys.
Well, yeah, it makes it a lot easier because before Tyree came here, he was a well-known person. He's a superstar in the NFL, and for him to come here, we have a young team, so a lot of the younger guys look up to someone like him, and now that he's on the team, they see the kind of work ethic he has, they see what kind of person he is in the building, around the building, and it's like, oh, he's a cool dude. He's just like any other person. He's not this I'm this ego person. Although everyone in the locker room thinks they're better than everyone, but it's at the end of the day, it's a team, and everyone respects each other in there.
I wanted to ask you about 10K donation for GoFundMe. I guess what inspired you to do that for a fan that was really that hard about you?
Yeah, well, you basically said it. He's a die-hard fan about me, but out of my respect to him, he basically not just covered me, but the entire Dolphins. And so for me to have done that, Tyreek was able to do the same. Other guys have been able to do the same as well, to donate. But I just want his wife and his kids to know that we're praying for them, and that we're thinking of them.
Tua, I wanted to ask you about the helmet cam. What was your reaction when they first approached you about doing it? Were you on board? You're like, this is kind of strange. And how have you?
Before it gets to that answer, I want to give a shout out, of course, to my man Chef Jew. The ambassador's here. What's going on, Chef Jew?
Chef.
And like I always do,
What's up,
man. I
Chef?
always do. One thing, whenever I see Chef Jew, I always got to give a shout out to Chef Jew's Catering, baby. He has a catering company. He's in the chat, so if you want to ask him more about it, he's going to be doing big things, man. Hopefully, when Finn's Tailgate, we do a party over in Miami. We're going to be, of course, we're going to be using his services. So shout out to Chef Jew and his catering company, man. And big things for him, man. Big things for my man, Chef Jew.
And he's like the best guy ever. If you haven't met him, he is just the sweetest, most awesome guy. Huge Dolphin fan. You can't go wrong backing Chef Jew.
Yeah, by the way, I don't know if you've seen it, Pam, but he was in the blender with me for 3 hours. He's the only guest that I'm going to have 3 hours in the blender. I'm just letting you know that right now. But he's the only one that I had in there for 3 hours, and it was a great episode, let me tell you.
I have to go back and look for it because I missed it, and I'm real sorry I missed that. But it's YouTube. I can get to go back and see it.
Yeah, exactly. That's the purpose. So here we go. Here we go. This is Tua going to answer the question about the cam. So here we go. Listen, everybody.
How's it helped you?
Yeah, it's almost like you think of the integrity of the huddle. Like, man, do I really want, the coaches to hear what I'm saying to the guys? Because sometimes you might not like a play and you go into it and it's like, you tell the guys how you feel, but you basically tell a guy, hey, I'm like skipping this progression to come to you, so you better be there. Well, it has its good and it has its bads. That was like one of the things that we felt wasn't as good, but a lot of the cool things that you can do with that is, like it gives audio for a lot of the new guys so that they can listen to the play over and over and over from the guy giving the play, and then they can listen to the cadence. So when they go off, from OTAs, it'll be good for them to just listen to the cadence over and over and over. That's something that's been big this off season for us is operation.
So you're going against a big Fangio defense every day in practice. I remember going back to your rookie year. That was one of the bigger challenges you had. Playing that Denver game over there. What do you remember about that game, and what makes his defenses so difficult to go with?
Yeah, I remember I was getting hit a lot. I was getting confused where to go. I think what he does a really good job with his guys is holding shell in the back end. They do a really good job holding shell and, being able to disguise their coverages in that sense. But there's so many nuances to what they do and how they run their defense. So many coverages, it's not just one. There's like a knockoff of like 6 in just one coverage. So you got to know what they're doing. And if you don't, they'll make you pay.
So I watched, just watching today.
Shay, can you pause it real quick?
At least one, every single play.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's up?
I just wanted to, where is it at? Bow leg, right? Skipping a progression is not good. And we already knew, when I heard the interview, I already knew this was coming, right?
Mm-hmm.
Tua didn't say he was skipping over progression. Tua said since the camera was implemented, right, that he'll be in the huddle, and what if you listen, he's basically telling you Coach McDaniel or Frank Smith or whoever's calling the plays is telling you maybe they want to see this player get the ball. They want the ball to go to this specific player. They're not saying this has nothing to do with game situation. This has nothing to do with none of that. Because again, the narrative is going to be, see, Tua doesn't go through his progressions. That's not what he said. Just in OTAs and in what they're trying to do, maybe the coaches want to see. Maybe they have a specific defense and they say, Tua, no matter what, go here. Let's see how the defense reacts to this play. Bro, people are run with the dumbest shit in the world. Tua does go through his progressions. Now, is he the best at it? Probably not. Does he still have to work on it? Probably so. But stop with the bullshit already that, bro, he's telling y'all. Like, why are we going to kill somebody for being honest? And that's all I wanted to say, Shake. It's ridiculous already. Because I knew that dumb shit was going to come out.
No, and it's old narrative, right, Lewis? It's an old narrative that people tried to push for a long time, that he doesn't go through his progressions, which is not true. So, it's old. Come up with something new.
If I were to agree that he didn't, I still wouldn't have got that out of that. You understand what I'm saying? Because it's practice. And there's so many things they're doing in practice. There's, simulating game experience for the defense. Like,
exactly.
I mean, how are they going to, how is the, in other words, how is anybody going to know what it looks like? Or how is a receiver going to know what it feels like to be the second or third option? And, if everybody's doing things so perfectly in practice that, I mean, he'd throw to the first read every single time. I mean, you have to be able to simulate how it might be in a game for the defense or for the wide receiver. Otherwise, what are the other wide receivers doing all day in practice?
And he just didn't say that.
Right.
He just didn't
even
say
if
that.
I agreed with people that say he don't read defenses well or he needs work
That's
in
not
that
what he was
area
meant.
or
That's not
whatever.
what he meant there in that statement.
It's definitely not what he meant right there. You know what I mean?
Exactly, Color. Thank you.
Yeah.
He probably has a hair out of place too. Just saying.
We like to be. I like to be fair. So California, I am yet to see the evidence that he goes through progressions.
Okay.
Yeah, and again, that I may even agree with California, but it's what he said there had nothing to. I mean, when you're talking about now, if he said that at a press conference after a game that we lost,
then
you're talking a different story now.
Right.
And you know what's
Right,
and what's
right.
funny is, and to me that when it comes to California, I don't think that's hate. I think that's just a fair question. That's all.
Absolutely.
Oh, sure, it is a fair question.
And not only that, Shake, but does he have to still work on that and get better at it? Absolutely. He's not a finished product. He's not a guy that's 12 years in like a Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, a guy that can read a defense at the line. He's not there yet, but that dumb narrative. See, again, I just knew we were going to play it.
Quarterbacks come into the league
and somebody was
right
going to
off the
come out
bat,
and say it
Lewis.
already. Bro, it's
very
practice.
few quarterbacks come in the league. And,
absolutely, it's
hit the
simulated.
ground running.
Color just basically told you exactly what I was telling you. It's simulated. You heard Tua say that he might even go in the thing before the camera was the huddle, before he got the camera, and he would say, hey, this is stupid. I'm not. He just told you that he's getting told to do something. It's simulated. It's a practice. They're working on things. They want to see, hey, we want the ball to go here, whether it's from the offense perspective or the defense perspective. They're
while they're
working on
doing
things.
that, while they're doing those coaching things and whatnot, it also has the secondary effect of muscle memory for Tua. I think he may even mention that something about muscle memory.
1000%.
And so what happens is he gets in this mindset where he may be in a game and he's in a sitch, you know what I mean? And he's like rolling around and boom, clicks in his mind that day in practice where the coach is, needed me to purposely throw this other way. Well, I remember that's there. Boom.
Exactly. Yep. Good point, caller.
And the muscle memory, like people, I don't know that everybody understands muscle memory, but that comes from repetition over and over. And muscle memory is a huge deal. It's a really big deal. And
Well,
not
to your
everybody
point,
gets it.
And I'm
point
probably
is, hold on,
somewhere
to your
around
point,
where Aaron
hold
Green
on,
is.
color,
I'm
color,
sorry to cut you off, Shake.
let me say, I'll let you get to this, but let me just get to this real quick.
Sure.
To your point, Pamela, that's why, let's say, for instance, let's say Connor, the right tackle goes down. Connor Williams, Armstead, as all pro of the left tackle he is, he's not going to be able to go to the right side and perform at that same level because of that muscle memory. But go ahead. I'm sorry, color.
Sure. And this is kind of somewhere around where I fall along with what Aaron Green says here. He goes through progression sometimes. No QB reps are all bad, but it's an area of improvement for him because in all those games last season, we kept talking about meat on the bone. Sure. That's probably the two boxes I have left for him to check. Meat on the bone, and what I consider to be big games, important.
I would agree with that.
Stuff on the line.
Yep.
That's it.
I agree 1000% with that.
You saw what we did with our wide receivers last year, and people can say, "Oh well, like Mark O'Connell, you took it away from the tight end, or you took it away from the third wide receiver." It's like, okay, but your second wide receiver didn't even get factored in, because he didn't even hit 60 receptions.
Exactly.
So
yeah, I think sorry, Jake, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Make your point, and then I'll play the remaining of the video. Go ahead, please.
So I was going to make a point that Color had made a while back about the top receiver percentage-wise was not Shaheen, the tight end Shaheen, right? Shaheen.
Yeah, Shaheen.
Yeah. So he was the percentage-wise the top receiver. When you don't necessarily even think that he would have been that, he didn't have a lot of opportunity, but when he did, he made the catches. So
right, and there is something to be said, Pam. Like when I bring up Durham Smythe's
yes, sorry, yes.
There is something to be said for having a smaller sample size. I get it. If you only get thrown the ball one time and you catch it, you got 100% completion rate.
Yeah.
But he had enough of a sample size. Okay, so in other words, when his completion percentage of the first 2 years of his career was in the 55% range, he was getting virtually no targets. So one drop means you're out.
Yeah.
But as soon as he started to pick up workload to where the sample size was at least substantial enough for the percentage to make sense, he shot right up to 89% in one year and 83 the next, and that still keeps his career percentage at 76 something or whatever. And then I haven't looked at it what he ended up this year. He actually ended up in the high 70 percentile somewhere,
higher than anybody else on the team.
No, go ahead, Pam.
No, I was just saying because I remember you saying that he was the highest on the team percentage-wise.
Yeah, I think I ended up. If I said that, then I must have been happen to have a bunch of the numbers up because Tyreek's was 70, and Jalen Waddles was like 64 something. So I can't imagine any other guy on the team having higher, other than the one running back that got one pass thrown to him.
Right,
and that's what's so time consuming about doing these things because I got to muddle out 50 running backs that got one pass thrown to him, you know what I mean, that are at the top of the list.
Right.
Yep. But anyway, let me get to finish this presser, then we'll continue the conversation.
Is that a philosophy where you just want to give the defense as much look at pre-snap as you can?
Yeah, I would say it's something that we've tried to harp on last year during our operation. What we don't want to do is go out, get the defense set, and just run a play. Those guys on the other side are already good. And so forcing them to have to communicate, backs, shifting the fronts, just having to force them to communicate and not not get set and just go out and play football and not have to think.
Tua, when you skip a project of huddle, how does Mike, when you're like, we're not doing it, we're doing this, you know, how does he respond to it?
Well, I won't
Or
do
has it
that to
happened
Mike.
yet?
I won't do that to Mike. I got too much respect for Mike. It's more of a, I don't like this play, but you know what? Like, do I know is going to be open? You know, more often than not, if I'm given these 3 or 4 coverages, and so that's how I kind of gauge it.
You're not the first quarterback to do that, but it's just now you're more conscious of this on camera.
Well, yes, yeah. Not the only quarterback, but because it's on camera, you start thinking of everything, and then it gets weird when you start hearing yourself calling plays in the huddle, calling cadence. So, yeah.
I think one of the leagues used to have called a cam live. You guys remember that? Would you want that to come back to the NFL, like you could watch?
No.
Why not?
Let's not do that. I just think there's too much things that are said on the field that should be said on the field and on the field only, just to keep the integrity of the game with, you know, the guys out there.
So earlier today, in the offense, where do you feel like you've made the biggest growth in terms of comfort?
The biggest growth in terms of comfort, I think, for me, it's continuing to work on the little things. One of the things that we've been harping on has been operation. When I think of my position, I think of, you know, what have I done as a leader for the guys up front, for the guys out there, you know, to have gotten, you know, them better, and what have we done? And so, you know, I think we've been doing a great job working operation, doing some cadence deals, motions, you know, trying to work a lot of things just to give some eye candy for the defense and forcing them to communicate in the back end. It's been good. I think the coolest thing is now that we have James in our room, I'm finally not the youngest in our room, which is great. So that blows my mind that I'm going into my 4th year, and it took me 4 years to not be the youngest. And so it was cool. Everyone has their own ideologies of how they like to do things, how they like to prepare, how they like to think of plays, and how they like to go about those. But I think for me, I've been able to learn from all of those guys, being able to learn from Mike as well. You know, with Mike White being in our room, you know, taking a little piece of you know, what I think is pretty cool that, you know, a person does, and trying to implement that into my game.
Well, I saw a drill out here today where you literally did bootlegs for 20 straight minutes.
Yeah.
Right side, left side, hit Tyreek. Is it just a reminder that this whole thing, it always comes back to the basics? Like, you can never drill it enough?
Yeah, it always comes down to the basics. You know, I was just over there talking to our OC, Frank Smith, telling him about, you know, when are we going to start doing, you know, these plays, like, you know, these plays, because the defense, you know, are overplaying this. And he said that Mike wanted to stick to the basics. You know, once everyone, you know, understands where they're going, gets the foundation of it, then we can move on from there. And so that should tell you all, you know, from the drills that we did.
All right, and before we get to McDaniel's interview, we're gonna be pausing in that because that was almost a 30-minute interview. So we'll take short little intermissions in between. But before I get to that, I just want to say real quickly. God damn it! Not that.
Joining us today is the head football coach at South Carolina.
Hold on. Look, that's us right there on YouTube. Mouse is tripping. No. But anyway, one of the things I wanted to say is we're on the road to. I'll get that situated in the back. Anyway, one of the things I want to say real quickly, and Carter, I'll let you get to this. We are how many away from 5K?
Do you mean for the group?
Tailgate.
Follows? Oh. Nice. I would have thought you
5K.
were already there.
Yeah, I thought the last time I checked, the last time I checked, I thought we were like 180 away, 180 people away. So we're well on our way to 5,000, and that's because of the great work El Capitan, Color, and Ali did all of last season, during the off season, and even during the season. So just big shout out to those guys, and then adding people like me, Shake, DTA. I think the group is just growing, and the following is just growing. So it's an amazing time. I think to be a Dolphin fan is also an amazing time. And, going back to this Tua interview, even the last part where he said he's asking Frank Smith, there's a lot of people, there's narratives go on that Tua doesn't understand the playbook or he doesn't know the playbook and stuff. You heard him there. Like, I think he's itching to get at it. You see what I'm saying? Where before, I think he was just rolling with the punches and taking what they were given, right? And now you hear him saying that he's asking offensive coordinator Frank Smith, hey, when are we going to do this? And I think he's chomping at the bit to get it going. And, I kind of like that aspect from Tua, and I also like where Coach McDaniel, to his point, hey, let's stick to the basics first. Let's everybody get on the same page here so then we can move on. And I think those are the right steps, man. Again, just to be a Dolphin fan, and again, I don't want to be a homer. I used to get on people for being a homer, and maybe a little bit of homerism is coming out of me, right? But I just look at this team and where we are today from where we were 2019, tore it down, to where we are now. The football team, the players, the coaching, bro, this is where we all should have envisioned our stuff being. And again, just look, bro, put a screenshot of Tua in 2020, right, and Tua now. Look at the transformation of his body. Look at the way he's speaking. He's growing in front of our eyes. The team is growing. It is just what a time to be a Dolphin fan, in my opinion. I'm just excited, man. I'm excited.
I agree with you, and I just want to give you guys a little bit of a just a thought for you to think about. So when I was in high school, back when I came across in the covered wagon, so I was 5'10", my senior year, 5'10", and there was a guy that I was friends with. He was like 5'6". This little guy, I kind of protected him. He was just this little guy. He was real sweet. And when we graduated high school, he was like 5'6". When we had our class reunion, when he was 25 years old, he came up behind me and he's like, hey, Pam. And I'm like, I turn around and I'm like, hey, I have no idea who this guy is. And he told me, and of course, by the time I think he was like 28, he said he did not start to shave till he was 25. And he was 5'6" at 18 years old. But by the time he was 28, he was 6'4". So people grow and develop at different times. And you can't necessarily say because somebody at 22 or 23 isn't full grown or fully functioning as an adult, you can't say that because it's different for everybody. And I think, like Lewis said, we are looking at a young man that has grown up right before our eyes, changed physically, changed. He's out there answering questions. How many of you have ever stood in front of a bunch of press and answered question after question, and he's not hesitating, he's not thinking, he's not going he is firing off the answers as fast as they're asking them. So I'm just saying, we are seeing a young man that has grown up right before our eyes.
Good point, Pam.
Absolutely.
I was diving into my Mexican meal over the last 15, 20 minutes. So forgive me for I was just listening in on the conversation. So I was kind of, stuffing my face full of this southwestern Mexican meal I got here. But it's all good.
And I don't even think it's only Tua. See, this is where I try to be. I think the whole team is getting better. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just think that there's a lot of guys. Perfect example right here, right? It's not only about Tua. Has anybody heard the reports coming out of training camp about one Skylar Thompson? The kid is doing an amazing job. From the reports, I'm not there. Nobody on this panel here is there. Nobody's there, right? But all we can go by is the reports coming out of training camp from our beat reporters and people that are there. Skylar Thompson is blowing.
Of him.
They say he's blowing Mike White. They say he's blowing Mike White out of the water. Why do you think that is? Because he's getting better.
Yeah.
And no one should
And
be
this is
hating
his second
on that.
year in the offense.
And
right?
this is his second year in the offense. He's probably feeling more comfortable. He's probably got his house or home or wherever he's living, situated in Miami. He's probably feels comfortable knowing all the rooms in the building. It's not like they're learning anymore. They know what to expect. They know what is expected of them when they walk into the building. So again, it's just when we come out here, it's not only about Tua. It's about Skylar Thompson. It's about McDaniel progress. It's about everybody. And I just don't understand why it's so hard for our fan base not to get behind it. Now, again, I agree with our fan base. We have to see it. I understand why, because for the past 25 years, it's been a dumpster fire, and I get it. We have to see it. But just harping on they can't, or they won't. I don't believe that's the case anymore.
Yeah.
I think this team is turning the corner, bro. I really do.
And
I agree
one
with
thing
you.
I want to say too is you saying Tua looks good. Skylar also looks jacked.
Skylar looks amazing, bro. Absolutely. He looks amazing.
And one thing I want to point out too.
That's why I say the pecking order should have been him and then Tua. I think the Mike White thing was just kind of like to say, hey, Skylar, we know you're the guy. We know we drafted you. You're our guy, but it's more so. It was more of a, okay, we'll bring the third guy in, but it's Skylar's job to lose as the number 2 quarterback. But
that's not a bad thing, right, Crypto? That's not a bad thing to put somebody to push him. If you're turning around behind you and somebody's close, you're going to run all that harder, right? I mean, it's not a bad idea.
It was a strategy, yeah.
Yeah.
We should all want Skylar Thompson to be what we're hearing coming out of training camp. That's what we should all want from Skylar Thompson, because knowing Tua's injury history, and God forbid, listen, I'm knocking on wood, but God forbid Tua's not on the field, we should, at least from what we heard in training camp and what we've seen in the preseason last year from Skylar, look at some of the games he had in the regular season, winning the game to get us in an opportunity to play the playoff game, and even the game in the playoffs. I would venture to say right now, I would feel okay, comfortable at least, if Skylar Thompson did have to play this season. And that's a credit to him. Like everybody, it just feels to me that the organization from top to down, it's all moving forward in the right direction.
Yeah.
And by the way, one thing I want to point out too, last year, everybody is harping on the fact that he is a 7th-round rookie. At the end of the day, when people say they make a rookie mistake, they don't put a round on it. You know what I'm saying? A rookie, regardless if he's in the 1st round or the 2nd round, wherever he was drafted, a rookie is still a rookie, and he's still learning. So at the end of the day, it doesn't matter where you're drafted. You're still a rookie.
It's true. You get the R on your hat for sure. But I agree with you, Lewis, on that whole thing. And I think when the whole organization is excited and looking better and everybody's on the same page and feeling more confident, that only tends to raise the level, right? Like, so, bad vibes in the locker room will beget bad play. So great vibes in the locker room will beget great play.
You know who's not a rookie? The guy steering the Noah's Ark, bro.
Xavien Howard. That's a great point.
Man, that was so
Absolutely.
refreshing to hear, man. I know he cares about Noah, even if he's just hyping him up. It tells you he cares about the kid. You know what I mean?
And about the team
Oh,
too,
yeah,
right?
he's
Color,
a,
like I mean,
Noah's
he
a
cares.
survivor.
Absolutely, Pam.
That's good. Noah is a survivor. I call him a survivor.
Hey, by the way,
Hey.
Cutter, Crypto text me mad that you didn't put DVP in the top 25.
Oh wow!
Top
Well,
two,
I mean,
top two, Shake Money, the top two.
I told him he needs to get 60 receptions. I mean, to even be considered.
Yeah, man. He's even doing Crypto is even doing the remake of that Naughty by Nature. You down with DVP? Yeah, you know me. You down with DVP? Yeah, you know me.
You know what I do? To that point,
Right.
though, it is kind of interesting to me that only 42 receivers attained 60 or more receptions. Like
Yeah,
pure
you would
wide
think more.
receivers.
Well,
Yeah,
that
you would
goes to
think
that.
they'd have caught more. Yeah.
Well, but that goes to that narrative that everybody wants to paint for our beloved Miami Dolphins, right? And a certain quarterback. He's the
Mhm.
only one that doesn't spread the ball around. No, that's not the case. The NFL is showing you, and what Color is illustrating, right, is that when you have big time players on your team, like let's just say two guys, like to Color, what Color showed you today, that I always mess it up. I'm just going to call it calculator. I know Color has a different name for it. But if your offense has two top 10 receivers, of course they're going to get majority of the balls.
Yeah.
It just is what it is.
Yeah.
But this narrative that goes around,
what
well,
they tend to
other quarterbacks are spreading out the balls. Color just illustrated it to you today. Only 42 wide receivers in the entire league had over 60 catches. Are the balls getting spread around really?
Yeah, and it was. I'm sorry, Shake. I was just going to add that it's interesting. It was interesting to see how many receivers that I actually like and would put in my top 42 that I couldn't even consider because they only had 58 receptions or 42. You know what I mean? But if I would have ended up factoring some of those guys in, some of them may have even landed in the top 25 because of their other stats, you know, the other 7 categories that I factored it on. Some of them could have still overcome not getting 60 receptions. But as I had pointed out, that it was meant to be about raw production, is not it fair to say that if you didn't get 60 receptions, you shouldn't even be considered for production value?
Right.
All right, I have a good little exercise question. All right, let's say, for instance, our 4 wideouts are, let's say we're gonna go Waddle and Hill on the outside, Barrios and Chosen in the inside, right? Who on our secondary right now would you put on those 4 guys? We'll start with Lewis.
I'm gonna go. Obviously, I'm gonna go Ramsey on Tyreek, X on Waddle.
I'm not doing that. I'm putting him on freaking Chosen.
Well, Chosen has speed. See the problem with that, Crypto, and I get it. But all the receivers, Shake Money name, they all have speed. So Xavier's going to get burnt anyway. I mean, I get
I
it.
would like it. You know what I'm saying? Where he could be shielded.
Well, again, I can only go by what. Well, I think if well, listen, I could be wrong. I'm just going like that. I'm going to throw Cater Kohu on Barrios. I'm going to go Cater on Barrios, and then I'm going to go I'm going to throw a monkey wrench. It's not going to be a corner. I'm going to throw like a guy like Javon Holland on Chosen Anderson. Bigger guy, so I'm going to throw one of my bigger guys in the secondary on him.
What about Cam Smith?
Damn, I forgot about Cam Smith. You know what? There you go.
That's why I would say Cam Smith is taking up Waddle.
Okay, well, there you go. You know what?
All right, you know what? I'll let before I get into, I'm gonna let you do the next.
That's what I'm doing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
that
Crypto, I'm
guy's
gonna
a
let you go
dog.
next,
I'm
but before
getting
we
it.
do, I'm gonna get to
Okay.
the super chat real quick. Samaje Taylor, just sending some love to you, Shake Lewis Color. What's up, my guys? Hey, Samaje Taylor, salute to you too, brother.
Yeah,
Much
appreciate
appreciated.
you, Samaj.
Samaj be on Stephen D's platform in the morning. That's where I've seen him. He's a good one, man. Shout out to Samaj.
See, Samaj, I'm sitting here. I'm sitting right here.
Shout out to the homie Samaj.
I think when he says you guys, I think he's encompassing you too. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
No, but anyway, all right, Color, go ahead. I mean,
That's
not Color,
cool.
Crypto,
That's
go ahead. Go ahead. Name who you sticking on
I
who?
kind of said mine.
Thank you, JR.
I was like, yeah, it would be Ramsey pairing up with Hill, and I would give the rookie right out of the gate and tell him to go shut down Waddle, man. Be physical, be that dog. You might get burned, he might get you, but them long arms might close the gap. So hey, I got to put him. I got to use that advantage, his length of his arms. I'll put Holland, like Lewis said. I kind of would tend to bring him down to cover Barrios, and then I put Williams on Anderson.
Williams? Who's Williams? You talking about
Not Williams.
Ramsey?
No. Damn. Cole. My bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what about where's Ramsey going?
He's covering Hill. I'll keep the ones paired up.
Okay.
Yeah. But X, I will be inclined in that situation to put X as the safety, as the zone guy, as the closeout guy. In that situation, the cover. If we was in a 4 wide, I would change X's role in that one.
I think X, and I know everybody needs a turn to go, but I would just say I think X is going to have a bounce back season. Just in fact that he knows he was hurt last year. We all know that. I think if he stays healthy, and again, it's a big if, but take the if aside. Just listen. This is the second time I've heard X say it. This defense, your eyes are more on the quarterback, and we all know the biggest strength in Xavien Howard is he's a ball hawk. If he sees ball, he goes gets ball. He's like a receiver in that aspect.
Yep.
And I
he
just think
puts
that's
ball into possession.
absolutely Color.
That's why.
So I think Xavien is going to have a bounce back year in this defense. I think Xavien bounce back.
Say he looks ball, sees ball, takes ball.
Yeah, exactly, Color. So I think he's going to have a bounce back season.
Before we get the Color in your answer,
I just don't trust
I want to wait a second. Samaje Taylor, you deserve a special shout out, Miss Pamela. Thank you again for the $5.
Yeah,
thank you.
Go ahead, Color. Who you got?
For matchups in camp.
Yeah, no, the cornerback. Yeah, the wide receivers. I was saying the 4 wide receivers I just mentioned. Who would you put on those 4 wide receivers? You got Waddle and Hill on the outside. Chosen, Anderson, and Braxton Berrios. Who are you? What corners on this defense are you putting on those guys?
Oh, I would switch my 2 corners to the opposite side that they're used to playing, and hope for the best.
And so, who are you putting on? Who are you putting on Berrios and Chosen?
Berrios and Chosen. Well, it's gonna have to be a fast guy for Berrios. Like not just
so Cam
speed
Smith?
fast, but like twitch fast.
So like a Cam Smith.
A good, I'd say, I don't know. I mean, if we're going all of our guys 4, if you're talking about like, is this all on the same play?
You could do a safety or whatever you.
That's what I'm saying. Is this all on the same play?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you're game planning against those.
Well,
guys.
then I'd have Javon and probably Cater to be swirling around the middle to make sure that Berrios don't get free and burn anybody too much, and Holland to pick up the slack if Chosen goes long, or if it's an out route and Reek goes long, you know what I mean, or Waddle goes long, or hell, if they all go long, I guess we're screwed.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
All right. Check this out now. All right. Now that we got the age out of the way, let's get to the beauty. What do you think, Pam?
So I totally agree with Lewis that X is going to have a much better year. That injury that he had plagued him the entire year, and you could tell it. And he couldn't make the move that he might normally make. So I literally am thinking X can play anywhere on the field, but even against Reek, I mean, I would even say he could do that. Cater Kohu, oh my gosh, I expect big things out of Cater Kohu. I think we're just now seeing what that kid could do. Could he cover Waddle? I don't know. Could he cover Chosen? Maybe Chosen. Then Waddle. Who's going to cover him? Maybe. I mean, I like bringing up somebody like Javon Holland to cover, the middle. I definitely like that. Cam Smith, maybe? I don't know that he can handle Waddle or not. This is really hard. When you sit there and you're like moving your chess pieces around, I'm not sure. I don't know, but I definitely think X is going to be much better. I would honestly put him against anybody because he's got something to prove because last year was rough. So I am going to put him on Reek. I'm going to put Cater on Chosen. I'm going to put I don't know. Who else am I looking at? I'm looking at
You got remember we
Barrios.
still have Nick Needham.
Needham. I don't know. Nick comes in on a pinch sometimes, right? He comes in on a pinch.
Yeah, but
I don't.
I like him like for instance, if I was to do mine, I would be I'll be Xavien Howard on Waddle. Ramsey. I would put I would go with crypto. I would put Xavien on Hill. Whatchamacallit?
No, it was Ramsey I put on Hill.
Yeah, Ramsey I put on Hill.
Smith on Waddle.
No, yeah,
Yeah.
okay. I'll put X on Hill.
That's where I'm
Cam Smith on Waddle. Jalen Ramsey because he could play the slot well, and he could move. I'd put him on Chosen, and I put Nick Needham on Braxton Berrios.
That's not bad. I mean, Needham, like, he shows spurts of greatness, right? Like sometimes he just looks great.
Well, I'm sorry.
But what
Shakedown. I
about
think
Cater
Tua
Kohu? I mean,
throws 12 touchdowns in that scenario because he only needed to throw it to one guy if you're gonna have that lineup.
Right. Right.
Tyreek Hill's gonna have like 12 touchdowns.
You mean with X on
covering
him? But I think X is going to be more like X, the X that we are used to, because that injury is so bad. And when you think about that injury and pushing off and cutting the things that he needs to do,
guys consistently.
well, I think he's
Guys
going
that can cut on
to.
a dime.
Yeah. But I think he's going to be more the X that we are all used to seeing. And I'm like Lewis. I think he's going to come back and have a great season. So I don't know. I think instead of Nick Needham, I think I would put Kohu in there.
Berrios,
Yeah. Because Kohu, I think we've just now started seeing what Kohu can do. I really like him. And of course, no Dolphinier, you're right about Trill. I saw him sitting there, and I mean, his upside is huge. We didn't get to see much because, of course, he was hurt, immediately. But I'm excited to see what Trill can do as well. Yep.
Oh yeah, Trill Williams. Yeah, that's what's up. So, all right, let me play some of the press conference real quick of the McDaniel press conference.
Here we go. Catch your Z's. Get ready to get dizzy.
Nice.
I hope you guys aren't driving. I don't
Politician.
recommend you to drive. Even though this is the drive time.
That's right.
He's like that
You guys
guy
hear
on
it?
Halt and Catch Fire.
Can you hear it or no?
Not yet.
It's still loading, Shake.
No, yeah.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it is what it is, which is the evening.
That's your impression, huh?
And you got to be ready for the morning, which comes really quick,
Oh, belated is all get out. I appreciate it though.
That's what I hate about this press conference is it doesn't start right away, so you got to freaking sift through the
Minutia.
Yeah. So where does it begin? Where does it end?
I know, you think they could do us a favor of clipping out 20 minutes of press conference starting soon. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's one of the hotbeds in the country for talent. And my experience doesn't mean it's 100%er, but rule of three. Third time. Nope.
All right, what the fuck? Yeah, whatever. We'll talk until it's still loading up. Yeah. My internet.
Yeah, it should be.
My internet is acting
Should
slow.
be starting soon.
Mine is doing the same thing. It's loading slow. So
You guys, you have Xfinity?
You both of you guys got that Mike McDaniel internet.
here it
It's slow.
Yeah, I'm more curious on what dinosaur noise I'm going to hear today.
What's the Ian the Enforcer taking on the phone?
I mean, it's the rule of three. Third time. Nope. It's got to go in the hallway.
Coach, first I wanted to say happy belated birthday to you.
Whoa. Belated is all get out. I appreciate it though.
Was that last year?
Touch base on the South Florida athlete and how they stand out. During your coaching tenure, you have time with Santana Moss, Travis Benjamin, Devonta Freeman, and Nick Bosa at your several stops. And what's unique about those guys, and how has chosen been similar in those aspects as a South Florida athlete?
So, well, first and foremost, it's one of the hotbeds in the country for talent. And my experience doesn't mean it's 100%er, but the guys you just named, common denominator is that they're very used to good competition and have a chip on their shoulder to go above and beyond. The anytime in professional football you have athletes that also have the drive. You have top tier athletes with super drive or that are super driven to be the best at their respective positions in the game. That's a good formula for success. So I've always really throughout my career at all the teams I've been, there's been guys from South Florida that they have stood out because they're familiar with the competition and they have a burning desire to uplift themselves for sure. So they Chosen's been awesome to have around because he's at a point of his career where he's experienced a good amount of success, but he's hungry to continue to develop and improve. One of the most coachable guys that I've been around that have had success at the level that he's had in this league. He is open-minded, bright-eyed, and wants to be better, and doesn't just say that. A lot of people can say they want to be better, but then when you're trying to improve stuff, you have to be real with yourself and take criticism. And he is a tough-minded individual that means what he says and has followed through. Hasn't is really just approached it that he wants to be a part of the team. I think he is about the cause as much as anyone in terms of, he knows the direct history of the Dolphins and what it would mean to the city to for the Dolphins to be a success at the level that we all aspire. So, he's doing it for the right reasons and doing it well.
Ask you about Tyreek. Obviously, last year we'd see him take basically every single rep. Didn't do much team, or I don't think 7 or 7 yesterday. Is this just understanding at this stage of his career he doesn't need all that kind of work, or is he dealing with something?
No, there's a little like I'm very consistent that I'll be inconsistent with player to player. I think it's hard, but if you prove to the players that your intent is right and you and you're doing stuff for the right reasons, and you pay attention and know who's deserving it of a little time off, or maybe we're hypersensitive to maintenance of someone, case by case you approach it as such. I know one thing: if Tyreek is at risk for further injury, he doesn't know any speed on the practice field, as you guys know, but full go. So there's also a component of coaches protecting players from themselves, and he's dealing with some minor stuff. But if at any point we think it makes the Miami Dolphins worse for someone to practice, turn the page, he will not practice. So that's kind of where he's at. Where I have no concerns of any player, whether you're the 53rd, the 90th, or one of the best players in the league. All of those players in a pool, Tyreek is probably the least I'm worried about being physically able to perform his tasks. And I will say he's in executing his assignments and walkthroughs. He is putting his best foot forward, is night and day ahead of where he was last year with regard to the offense, and has his mind set on improving and getting better from last year, which is the only place we'd want it.
Mike, when it comes to year 2 in the system for Tua and overall year 4 for his career, what are you looking at on a day-to-day basis in practice to say, okay, I saw what I needed to see from Tua, we had a good day with him?
There's a lot that goes into that. I think year 2, the prerequisite is that he, as the quarterback, he has to have ownership of everything he's doing and what everyone else is doing. As the facilitator of the offense, and he's checked that box every day. It's been really cool in the year's time how he's not only learned the language but is now fluent in it, and that opens quarterbacks up to doing some of the components of the job that it's really hard to try to be the leader of an offense and motivate guys and encourage guys when you need to, or maybe be hard on guys when you need to, when you're just trying to spit out a play and know your own assignment. So I went into this offseason hoping that I would see a graduation of sorts, and really have every single day. So that's first and foremost for his game. You're less concerned about the really good plays. Your attention is less drawn to that, and it's more about consistency of the entire practice, just like a game, where you can have some. He had his games where he made some big time plays, and then he wasn't as happy with the rest of the game. So kind of looking at through that lens, and he's really been one of our more consistent, if not, I mean, he's been as consistent as anybody, day in, day out, which has residual effects to the whole team, and I know the team can feel it as well.
Is Connor Williams expected to return to the team before the end of minicamp, or is he expected to be away for the remaining 2 practices?
Well, I don't have my "What would Connor Williams do" bracelet on, so I like I said, I think this is, for me personally, talking about our workings. That's one hand the Dolphins, one hand Connor. It's something that I don't think is business necessarily that needs to be out there on the street that he can't answer to. We're in communication. I'm not going to put a day when he's back. He might be in the back of this room right now. I don't know. But like I said, I know where he's at, and we're in healthy communication. So there's nothing wrong with that. And then I have so many other very quality players to worry about that you'll get to watch in a mini camp day 2, which is where all of my concerns really focused.
To your knowledge, not here today.
To my knowledge, he's not here today.
I want to ask you about David Long. We have not seen him much in team drills in the days that we've been here. At what point, I don't know if this is an injury-related situation or just a veteran rest, maybe you clarify that. Mm-hmm. But at what point does he have to get his legs in and gain a comfort level about the defense, or do you just worry about that at training?
No, so we've been, although practices started OT.
I should take it off mute. Can you guys hear me? So, like I said,
Yeah, man.
Okay, yeah, I was saying that it seems like he hasn't really grown out of on his phase, whatever, because it seems like he's when somebody asks him a question, he's playing chess in his head, like he's thinking of what not to say or what to say if he's giving away too many things. You know what I'm saying? What do you guys think?
I don't know. I just went. I stepped out to have a break for a second, and I came back, and he was still on the third.
I told you, bro. I told you. I'm dizzy right now. I had to go sit down.
Hey, listen. We do what the people ask, so this is what people requested. So.
No, I'm kidding, but you're right. I think he does. He does take every question as a like he's gotta be a gotcha. You know what I mean?
Yes.
He feels like it's like he's playing chess or something like that. So that's why he dances to make sure he's giving the correct answer, but at the same time, trying not to give too much away.
Hey, Mike McDaniel. Sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. What are you saying?
Oh, no. I was just saying Mike McDaniel is like a carnival ride. It makes you want to throw up after you listen to it or get off it.
Really good work there. And then had a minor tweak of something that isn't that big a deal, but it's cost him some immediate reps. Those we will see when he comes back, how much he got out of it. You can go one or two ways, where you can, be on the sidelines and observing and as a observer, or you could be gaining reps from putting yourself in the situations that the people that are playing are going through. So I think he's more the latter. But the great thing is he gets to show me and the rest of the coaching staff and his teammates how the time getting healthy has treated him. I love his energy. I love what he brings to the locker room. I love what he brings to the practice field. You can feel that he's out there, and I'm certainly excited for when he's able to get back on the field. But I'm not gonna all of a sudden overreact and put him out there before his body's fully ready. So he's in a good spot and look forward to him getting out there. But first, he has to get fully healthy.
Mike just kind of discussing what he was mentioning with David Long, the guys who've been in there in place of him during this time. What have you seen from them and maybe your overall inside linebacker depth?
Well, that's the key, really. Like, you have to be opportunistic to succeed in this league for sure. And when you do have available reps, you need to seize them. And I've seen several players. It's given great work for our rookies, but then the extra reps, that really Gink's been able to get invaluable. Duke has been doing a tremendous job at that spot. Bake's been doing a tremendous job learning this new system and not just knowing it, but being able to react in an elite fashion. It's hard to do. It's not for everybody, but we got several quality guys that have gotten work, and then all the reps that the younger guys get are incredibly invaluable. As I talk to the team about numerous times, you don't know it, like this might be the most reps that you get, for the first. These reps might be more than your first 2 weeks of training camp. You just don't know, so you have to be opportunistic. So each and every rep that people have been able to take as a result of him being out has been very beneficial, because this is all stipulated on guys are going after practice, in an elite fashion, and we've really had that thus far.
Can you hear me, guys? All right, check this out. This Friday, we're gonna play the other. We're gonna do is we're gonna play a drinking game. Every time McDaniel says we gotta take a shot.
Roy, you are going to be drunk.
Shake Money, I had to check into Alcoholic Anonymous.
That's right. We're all going to be totally wasted.
Okay, I think that's not a good idea. Then never mind.
Tell you about what Jalen Ramsey is like within the facility, what he's like in meeting rooms, on the sideline, when he's not in team drills.
Just very nice things. He's a very talented individual. In more ways than one. He's been exactly what we need from a guy that is in charge of holding a predominant piece in our defense. He's been engaged. He has history and aversion of the scheme. So there's a lot of talking points that if you have the right type of players, you can really get to the next level in terms of how you execute your defense. And he's fit right in with a lot of the veterans here. You can already see him push X for X's benefit. The way he communicates with guys that are out there coming off the field, and Javon Holland. That's tremendous, but there's also, he's communicating with all the secondary players, as well as some of the guys that aren't practicing, like the Brandon Joneses or the Nick Needhams. Like, he is exactly what we'd hope for, probably a little bit more.
Along those lines, you talked about Chosen being a guy that blends in well here. As a coach,
with all the turnover there in the league now, how tough is it to get that group of guys? I mean,
Oh,
I've seen it go sideways some places, and how in touch do you have to be with?
Oh, it's huge. You have to first and foremost, you know, we wouldn't have a chance to have the camaraderie that we have in this locker room if it weren't for the personnel department and how good of a job they do and really figuring out what types of people we're getting on this team. And so as a result, I think you know, over time, you have a bunch of like-minded individuals that are trying to be their best, which is all to me, that's the only thing that wins, really. So are people going after it like that, at least on a consistent basis. So it's incredibly important. You have to pay attention to everything. I think before any player comes on this team, you know, Chris and I are spitballing what's that going to look like with starting with the position room, you know, and then you extrapolate that out, but that to the rest of the team. But that's, you know, a predominant fixture on our minds is, you know, what is our team going to look like? And it's not just Madden, you know what I mean? It's it's to get it to orchestrate the right way. You need the right people, and I'm very confident that we have that.
Mike, we've seen a more stout version of Tua this offseason coming in. What does maybe that added weight or strength do for him going into the season?
Yeah, I think the major part of it is that he's put time into his body that I think helps him perform all tasks. You know, I think that he is. It's funny to reflect on some of the areas of concern, so to speak, when I first got here, or just things that were on my radar of, you know, random people saying, okay, well, you know, he's young or whatever, and you know, I didn't have a complete picture on what, you know, what type of professional he was, you know, and you, as we stand right now, I mean, this dude is everything you'd look for in a starting quarterback in terms of professionalism, how he attends to his job, how serious he takes it. He takes pride in making sure he does his job, but more importantly, how he makes others better at their jobs. And all of that can fall on deaf ears if you're not living it yourself. And so I think it's empowered him to, you know, kind of what I was talking about before, where he is really owning the position and going about the verbiage of the offense, but really as well as like motivating teammates and encouraging them. That probably doesn't look the same if he didn't, you know, go about his individual work on his body, which has residuals all over the place. So you're talking his ability to make certain plays is enhanced. His ability to protect himself is enhanced. You know, and his ability to communicate and do his job with his teammates is enhanced. I think it affects everything.
Can you give us an example of how the camera, the GoPro, has helped him? You've seen one thing get better the next day because he was able to see it on tape.
You know, I think that added resource, he's seen it live, and he has a very strong recall in what he sees and is able to communicate it to coaches. So that it's more for, you know, coaches to see exactly what he's seeing. That's proved beneficial, as well as, you know, I can I'm not sure if you guys have it or if you've noticed or not, but I'm never in a huddle. Now I am. You know, there's a lot that goes on with that. You don't but how you communicate to your teammates, all of that's available now. And you know, I think he does get some enjoyment on like see Coach Bevel. This is kind of hard to see. But like he's at the stage of his game where he already knows what he's seen, and he's is able to articulate it well enough to now we've just found out how honest he is, which is a great thing.
The other quarterbacks?
Absolutely. It has so many different applications, but they're all not totally calculated. I knew, I've really set off the last 2 consecutive team meetings with random things that are hilarious, like the noises Raekwon makes when he pass rushes. There's so it like I said, it's a tool of resource, and it has many different applications, and it's just case by case, play by play, that how you can really employ those applications.
Thanks, Mike.
Yeah, some bugle calls. The revelry. Revelry.
What the hell is that?
Man, what the heck?
Oh, it's
Damn, fake
revelry.
money.
I don't know why we're
Yeah, that's
playing
what I'm saying.
revelry, but
I was just
Well, I
waking
was.
up some of the people. I was just waking up
Yeah,
some
I
of the
know.
people.
you woke us
Oh,
up,
okay.
Shake, for sure.
Yeah, I was in the land of Nod.
Yes, there we go.
Yeah. Nah, I thought Coach McDaniel was still talking. That's what it sounds like to me when he's talking.
Whatever.
That's Charlie Brown's
That
teacher.
would be
Wah,
some
wah, wah,
regimen.
wah, wah.
Listen, I love everything about Coach McDaniel. I really do. I think he is the right guy for the job. Again, knowing myself, I'm not shitting on Brian Flores. I thought Brian Flores was absolutely the right guy for the job too. I think what they both show you is you could be 2 different ways and still get the job done. I don't think it's a certain way is the right way or not. It's the press conferences for me, they're just too long-winded. But everything else about McDaniel, and if you really listen to him, most of the time the answers are long, and it takes a long time for him to actually get to his point. But once he gets there, it makes sense, man. Like I'm not gonna lie, I love everything about McDaniel. I really do. I think he is the right guy at the right time for this team. I'll just leave it at that. I really do.
I was thinking, Lewis, well, first of all, I agree with that. But another thing, I think a lot of it is smoke and mirrors, because everything somebody says these days is overanalyzed and, put under a microscope. And so, when that happens, you do have to choose your words carefully. And he doesn't want to give too much away, and he wants to answer the question, but it's a big deal, his job, and these press conferences. So I feel for him, but I think a lot of it is very calculated. Joe, yeah, no, it's just smoke, yeah, but there's mirrors there. I'm telling you, Joe.
Right. Well, I know Benjamin is asking me a question. Is the team last year better than 2020? I would say yes, Benjamin. I know where he's getting at, because in 2020 we finished 26. I would also say, Benjamin, no,
Maybe on
that
paper.
in my opinion, I think our, whether you wanted to say Tua was the starter, I would just say our backup quarterback in Ryan Fitzpatrick was also better than what we had at backup quarterback last year. I would say that. And then also 2020, let's not make it seem like we were in the midst of, I think, 26 straight games with at least 8 turnover. I would say 2020, our defense was better as well. And I think our defense wouldn't have been as bad as a lot of people make it seem to be. In my opinion, I don't think they were that bad. But a lot of people want to blame the defense for last year. And just look at all the injuries, bro. So, yes, I can admit I wanted us to be better than 9-8 or 9-9, however you look at it. But I don't think just because we were 9-8 last year means anything for this year. I think with the additions of Vic Fangio, the additions of Jalen Ramsey, I'm gonna bet that we don't have all the injuries that we had last year. I bet you we're not a 9-8 football team this year. I can feel very comfortable in saying that.
I just want to know, how is it that I'm totally agreeing with everything you say today? That almost never happens. I completely agree with you.
Well,
Again.
Benjamin Scott and Benjamin asked me, does the defense this year or 2020 or this year? I'm going to say this year. I think, again, whether you like Brian Flores or not, or I would just say Fangio is an upgrade over Josh Boyer. And that's what we had last year. And then when you add Ramsey, like I said, you think that Cater Kohu, what he showed last year, that's also going to be an improvement. You're getting Brandon Jones back. You're getting Nick Needham back. You're getting Trill Williams back. You add another guy in the secondary with Deshaun Elliott coming over from Detroit. Absolutely. Look at the linebacker core. I'm a little bit higher, I would say, on Jerome Baker than a lot of people in the community. But you bring in David Long Jr., this kid, the UDFA that we got from Jackson State, Aubrey Miller. I think he has a chance to be on the make the team. AVG maybe taking a role for the inside. I could see definitely this defense being better. I think
it should be able to be better, but would it pan out with the turnovers?
Well, this is the better way to answer.
The amount of turnovers or forced turnovers at the other.
Well, it's not even the turnovers, Crypto. Let's call it for what it is, right?
Possessions. We need those extra possessions.
Well, absolutely, Crypto. But let's just say, listen, we all know, and again, I hate doing rankings, but I think Miami finished 26th, 27th in defense last year. Let's say, for the sake of argument, right? And I'm not even going to make the jump into the top 10. But let's just make the sake of argument that the defense is a top 12 defense. If this offense is anything like what we've seen last year, again, with Tua on the field, being a top 10 offense, and you get anywhere close to having a top 10 defense, there's not a team in this league, in my opinion, that wants to see the Miami Dolphins. Man. And that's a fact. That is a fact.
It is a fact.
Yes, well, that's what's up.
No, it seriously is a fact. And when you look at the defense, wherever they ended up being ranked,
I definitely hope that is the case. I really do.
Well, yeah. I mean, we definitely all hope for that. But when you look at where our defense ended up being ranked, wherever you say they ended up, but
yeah, the defense is
I think, right. But I think they were a better defense than what those stats show. And it was on the offense. A lot of the fault fell on the offense. But you get this offense, like Lewis said, in gear, doing what we know it's capable of and what this defense is capable of. Nobody is going to want to see the Dolphins. Nobody. And there are people that are paying attention that are not necessarily Dolphin fans. I've had a few people call me and go, hey, it looks like the Dolphins are going to be great. I haven't had that happen in a long time. Nobody calls me and talks about the Dolphins because they don't want to hear it.
I do believe it. Hold on. I do say that was up. I do believe it. Delusional Patriots fan. I'm just like you, delusional. So from one delusional fan to another.
Yeah.
Let me say that's what's up. But no, much love to delusional Patriots fan. He's a good dude. But go ahead.
He is a good dude. Well, I would just say Scott Jackson kind of says Vegas disagrees. See, the problem is Vegas also agreed that Buffalo was winning the Super Bowl the last 2 years, and they were wrong. See, Vegas didn't have Philadelphia anywhere in the odds of winning the Super Bowl last year, so they were wrong, right, in getting there. So when we come out here and we just, again, spew nonsense like Vegas disagrees, well, who the fuck is Vegas? Because Vegas has been wrong.
They just there to draw clicks and money, just to get people to crazy bets, lopsided
Tyrone
bets.
Hall. None of that matters if you can't make it out
Just
the
take your
playoffs.
money out your pocket. That's all Vegas is there for. Take money
Exactly.
out of
And
folks'
if they were
pockets.
right all the time and had all this money because they were right all the time, then they wouldn't have to be Vegas
Exactly.
anymore. They could be on the beach somewhere.
Right. Yeah, because they will be always
Bro,
winning. They just trying to win
What
people's money.
what people need to understand, Vegas could be wrong, just like I could be wrong, just like anybody on this panel could be wrong, just like the people in the chat could be wrong. Because it has nothing to do with anything that Vegas says or anything that anybody in the chat or up here on the panel say. At the end of the day, it's on the players. And if this team, right, if this team puts it together on the field, I'll be wrong or right. Everybody in the chat will be wrong or right, or in Vegas will be right or wrong. Like, it doesn't matter what no one says. At the end of the day, it's all about the
Yes.
team. You see what I'm saying?
You can
And
you can
it's
profit from Vegas being wrong, because if you bet against Vegas and you're right, then you're gonna get some money in your pocket.
You don't get
That's
paid.
the good thing
right,
about it.
absolutely.
Just bet against Vegas. That's all you got to do if you want to win some money.
Hey,
Because they've been wrong a lot to lose this point. So just
by
bet
the way,
against Vegas and you have a lot of money in your pocket.
Benjamin Scott, I'm about to. We're about to close this down in about 10 minutes because you know the Heat's gonna win.
That was the
6.
Benjamin that was on earlier, right, with us, right?
Yeah. He's a cool dude.
That's the
Yeah,
same guy,
yeah,
right?
Benjamin's
Yeah,
a real
okay.
good dude. Yep.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
here's
Benjamin
the thing. By the
Dolphin,
way,
Benjamin Scott,
tomorrow
okay.
in the
Same guy.
blender, I got my man CB83. He's gonna be in the blender.
Oh, nice.
This Friday, I might have a special guest, I might not, but either way, this Friday I'm gonna be opening the panel because Friday night, and then Saturday night we're gonna do the countdown to late night Excel. Ali's doing his late night Excel this coming once August hit the late night Excel with Ali will be coming back. It's on a hiatus right now, and I am happy to you know what I'm saying?
Time is flying by. God damn it.
Yeah,
We're already in the middle of June. We're already halfway the year's almost over, pretty much.
By the way, this was
half the goddamn year's always
Wednesday's
over.
Wednesday's a closed panel. So if you want to be on the panel for next week, like I said, I'm only doing like 5 or 6 people because I'm not trying to get too crazy. Friday we'll let it loose. So and
Let us in here. It's already too crazy. Look what you did.
I just want to reach out
I'll
to.
be a year older in about 3 more weeks, y'all. So I'm gonna be. I'm
we'll
looking
definitely
forward
have to. We'll definitely have to celebrate that. But
Yeah.
Benjamin, what I will say to Benjamin, hopefully he's still listening. Reach out to Shake. Go follow Shake on Twitter or my handle on Twitter is come get some. And come holla at me in the DMs or something, Benjamin, and we'll exchange numbers or something. Because bro, I'll just be honest. I'm gonna shout out Color again. He did great work this morning, and I think Benjamin adds something. The conversation we had today was absolutely great. So Benjamin, either reach out to me and Shake. I would love. I don't know how Shake.
We could also send out the Twitter the handle on. We could send out the link
Twitter,
on.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like I said, it's first come, first serve. So as soon as the panel fills up for next week, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is.
Yeah, I would definitely love to have Benjamin as one of the special guests for sure, man. It was a great conversation.
Like I said,
Oh,
Wednesday is
that's
going to
cool.
be
So I don't know Ben. I've been commenting to him a little bit on the comments, so I don't know him. But hey, Ben.
So like I said, Wednesday is going to be more of a controlled closed panel. I'm sorry, Wednesday is going to be a closed panel. Friday is going to open up. Saturday we're gonna do the top 10 all-time tight ends from 4 different lists, like we did last. We did wide receiver last week. This week we're doing tight ends, and then we'll open up the panel, of course, again. So
tight ends.
Well, to Lewis's point about Vegas, I wanted to make a point that I'm sure everybody has noticed. So. You know how you do a football pool and it's just a pick 'em league, who wins, that kind of thing. You have you just pick the winner, and you have these people who have never watched football in their daggum life. And like, you know football, you know all the stats, you know all the stuff. And the ones that know end up being wrong, and you get somebody who's never watched football in their life and they win the pool. So that's how Vegas does.
Yeah, pretty much. They pick by the pretty jerseys. But anyway,
Yeah.
any final thoughts? I'm not gonna
The
put anybody in the
costume.
back, but before Crypto, any final thoughts?
Not much, man. Appreciate the
Yeah, for sure, man.
you holding
You're
it
always
down,
gonna you're
Shake
always gonna get a link when I go on. Same thing with you, Pam. If
you
you're
guys
ever
get me through my
available,
day.
I'll always send you a link. Doesn't matter. You know what I mean? How about you, Lewis?
I appreciate it, Shake Money.
No problem, man. I think you're
I love it, man. You guys help me get through my work day, man. You guys make work a lot easier, a lot more smoother.
Hey, you
Well,
make
it's already
the
easy,
show
but it make
smoother.
it
You
just
make the show
smoother.
smoother too, man.
Yeah, Crypto.
Yeah.
So, but I know what's funny, it was entertaining was when you and Color were talking about Jamar Chase. Oh man, it was like the unstoppable force meeting the immovable object. No one was getting up there square.
Yeah, I mean, both receivers we was talking about are damn good.
Yeah, for sure.
It's not like we, really disagreed. It's just that, with a couple of things here or there, one person could have boosted numbers up with a little bit more crack at it, and the other one could have boosted their numbers up. Yeah, it was a pretty good discussion. I liked it.
Yeah, for sure.
It was
All right,
pretty good.
Lewis, anything?
Man, Shake, you already know, man. It's Finn's time, baby. It's Dolphin
Oh, yeah.
time. Let's fucking go, man.
Hell
You know
yeah.
what I mean? That's all it is. It's Finn's time. I'm with it, man. Let's get it.
Hey, trust me.
Let's
Next
rock
week,
and
like I
roll.
said, my final thoughts is I'm gonna get this Captain. Next week, I'm gonna have my factory smokes. I tried the 2 different factory smokes. They kind of suck. I like the sweet tip, so I'm gonna have my Captain and Coke, and and some my cigar. So this Friday, we're gonna be opening the panel for everybody. Pamela, we left the best for last. What are your final thoughts?
Oh, that's so sweet. You guys, I love you guys. You know that. Shake, man, if you're on, I'm always paying attention. All you guys, Lewis, when you guys are on, I'm paying attention. A lot of times I go back and I watch them later because I'm not necessarily on whenever the streams are on, but you guys are my dudes. And so I wanted to tell you, Shake Money, as far as your captain. So my husband loves, and other people, because of your recommendation on the Glenlivet Caribbean, they love that. There's a whole bunch of people like, wow, all because Shake Money turned them on to the Glenlivet Caribbean.
Yeah, it was good. If you like it's a good Scotch aged in rum barrels, so it gives it a nice finish. You know what I mean? So I'm not a big Scotch guy, but that one was pretty good.
Yeah, well,
by the way,
we have it now, and other people buy it now. You can write to them and tell them their business went up because of you.
Yeah, I just wanted to answer Liz's question real quick. It's a guy, I believe his name is Christian, and he's at tailgating 305, I believe is his. You can find him on like Facebook.
All you gotta do is put on one of Batman streams and listen to the beginning because he always shots him out.
Yep. But I believe it's tailgating 305.
Hey, by the way, and last but not least, this Saturday I am going to be boots. Oh, I forgot. Never mind. This Saturday I'm not going to be doing tight ends. That's right. This Saturday I am going to be reporting live from the Mud Bash, Dolphriki's Mud Bash, this Saturday. So I either Lewis or Color has the controls, whatever. But I'm going to be boots on the ground at the beach bash. And by the way, I don't know if you've seen it, Pam, but I also had Dolphriki in the blender too. So that was a good episode as well.
You just had nothing but great episodes. I go back and I watch them. You're doing so good. I'm really proud of you.
Thank you, Pam. It means a lot for
go
me.
Gators.
Yes, go Gators. With that being said, yes, we can end on that note. Go Gators.